please don't forget to smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and share this video. You can also check the description of this video and you'll find my compiled link featuring my Patreon, my trade binder, TCG player affiliate link, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. So check all that out, and I will see you in the video. How's it going, everybody? CJ here, back with another video. We're doing a first thoughts today. This first thoughts is on Lorcan Warlock Collector. This card seems nuts. Very, very powerful abilities here. It's 7 mana, so that makes a little sense, but it's a 6/6 flyer, and it puts in work. You get to steal creatures whenever they go into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere. That means if they get killed, that means if they get discarded, if they get milled. There's tons of ways to get your opponent's creatures this way, and you can pay life to take them. So you don't even have to spend mana. So you just have to use your life as a resource and steal all their good stuff and then win the game doing that. Seems easy enough. I really like this commander. I think this is going to be a very powerful deck, and I'm excited about it. So the categories I'll be talking about today are ways to get creatures into your opponent's graveyards. Then we have a ramp package and a bunch of one-off cards. And then in the 99. So we're going to start off, but we have 3 different ways to get creatures into your opponent's graveyards. That includes mill, discard, and removal. And then some cards do multiple things at once. Those are really nice in this deck. So we're going to start off with mill. Some good mill cards that you can throw in this deck so that way you can steal your opponent's creatures by having them mill their creatures are Altar of Dementia, which is really nice because you can also sacrifice the creatures that you steal and mill your opponents with them when they're going to die. That seems great. You have Decimator Web, Dread Summons, Ghoul Caller's Bell, Keening Stone, Mesmeric Orb, my personal favorite mill card. It's especially good for self-mill. Mind Crank, which is really nice because you have a 6/6 flyer. Mind Rack Harpy, Returned Reveler, Sands of Delirium, Screaming Shield, Shared Trauma, Sword of Body and Mind, which also gives you some protection, which is nice, and Sib Sig Host. All of those seem like great includes in this deck and can mill your opponents for a lot of cards, and then you can just steal them. Other ways that you can make your opponents give you creatures is through discarding. So this is actually a deck where Thoughtseize might be decent, because you can Thoughtseize your opponent, and like whoever has playing the green deck and just steal the best creature out of their hand and take it. That seems great. But some of the ways you can just make them discard cards at a higher rate and make all your opponents do it so you have more selection are Dark Deal, Siphoned Mind, Bottomless Pit, Painful Quandary, Oppression, Mind Slicer, Awaken the Erstwhile, Mind Rake, Delirium Skeins, Bad Deal, Anvilable Garden, and Memory Jar. All those seem like amazing includes in this deck. Especially cards like Memory Jar and Dark Deal. Just cards in Awaken the Erstwhile, make your opponent discard their entire hands, and then you can just pick off whatever creatures you want to take out of all of them, and boom, you've got a bunch of creatures. Seems great. You can also steal your opponent's creatures through removal. I'm not going to just start listing off a bunch of removal cards here because there's tons, but some of the ones in particular that synergize well include Grisly Spectacle because it causes mill. And then you have like cards similar to Plague Crafter, Fleshbag Marauder, Demon's Disciple, and Merciless Executioner, because that makes all of your opponents sacrifice a creature. So that means you have 3 creatures to choose from at that point, or 3 creatures that you can steal, all of them if you wanted to. That seems pretty great. You've also got Toxic Deluge. It's probably the all-star of board wipes for this deck, because if you do something like Damnation, you're not going to get all the creatures because Lorcan will be dead. But if you do Toxic Deluge for 5, you can steal any of your opponent's creatures that are power 5 or less, or toughness 5 or less. That seems pretty great. Keep Lorcan alive, and you just go to town. It's good board wipe for the deck. And then some cards that kind of hit on multiple categories here. You got Demogorgon's Clutches, Mind Drain, Rankle, and Archon of Cruelty. All those seem like awesome includes, and you can also throw in Death Cloud and Torment of Hailfire, because those will do very similar things, and they could also just win you the game, especially because you're going to be running a lot of ramp in this deck, because you want to get Lorcan into play. He's 7 mana, and if he dies, he's going to be 9. So you're going to want a lot of ways to just speed that process up and get him onto the battlefield as fast as possible. And in doing so, you'll be setting up for a big Death Cloud or a big Torment of Hailfire, which can just win you the game. Seems good. Speaking of that, let's talk about some good ramp cards. You got Cabal Coffers, Cabal Stronghold, and Magus of the Coffers, along with Urborg, to create a lot of mana. Auto includes there. Seems great. Amazing inside Monoblack decks. You've also got cards like Cryptghast and Arcana Revenant, which do also work very well with Urborg. Jet Medallion, Nykthos, Crypt of Agadim, Nyx Lotus, Cage Sun, and Gauntlet of Power. All those fantastic includes. Just ways to really ramp hard and create tons of mana that you can like dump into your commander or dump into a X spell like Torment of Hailfire and just win the game. And next, we've got the one-off cards. Some of the great one-off cards for this deck include Geth, Lord of the Vault, which is really nice because it can reanimate while milling. So that seems really good. So it's hitting both of the things you want to do. You got Sir Conrad, which makes your opponents lose life whenever they mill a creature, or whenever a creature goes into their graveyard from anywhere. So whenever Lorcan triggers, so will Sir Conrad. Seems pretty good. Unless, is it a replacement effect? Okay, it's not a replacement effect, so you're good. So, yeah, Sir Conrad would work very well with this commander. And then when the creature leaves the graveyard because you reanimate it with Lorcan, Sir Conrad would trigger there too. And you can mill with Sir Conrad. You're making a ton of mana, so you can do that a lot. Awesome. Sir Conrad auto include. And if you go heavy into discard cards, you can throw in cards like Turgid, Waste Not, Sangromancer, and Tiny Bones. All those will synergize very well if you have heavy discard synergies. You can throw in Exquisite Blood to help keep your life total high, because you're going to be swinging in with a 6/6 flyer, so that can help you gain a lot of life. And if you do that, you might as well throw in Sanguine Bond to infinite combo and win the game. You can also throw in Dread Presence, Thieving Amalgam, and Veto to be able to bring your life total higher. Thieving Amalgam's nice because whenever a creature you control but don't own dies, you gain life and that opponent loses life, so synergizes pretty well there. And Veto can give lifelink, which is really nice, while also comboing with Exquisite Blood, so good card there. Villas Broker of Blood seems fantastic in this deck. Whenever you reanimate something, you also get to draw that many cards based on the mana cost. Awesome. Great include. And Font of Agonies can just get really big really quickly, and then you can use it to kill creatures, which you can then reanimate and grow Font of Mythos or Agonies again. It's just self-sustaining. It seems really good there. And lastly, onto In the 99. This is commanders that I think Lorcan will be very good inside of. We've got a lot here. Lorcan's going to be a very powerful card, so you can go well inside of any discard style deck like Tiny Bones or Turgid, anything like that. You could go inside of any mill deck like Mirko Vosk, Una, Rexiel, Sir Conrad, Fennex, Anawan, Geth, Chainer, all of those seem fantastic. Scarab God, great include. Gyruda seems like a cool include there. I think I said everything there. Turgid, I already said Turgid. Seems great. There's a lot of good decks for Lorcan. I like it a lot. Inside Villas seems pretty decent there too. Like, because Villas can also kill things, and then you can reanimate them, and then boom. I like it. It's some powerful synergies. But that is everything I have for Lorcan Warlock Collector. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Peace out, everybody.